In 2008, I gave an artificial intelligence keynote, and my main point was to try to prepare people for the new AI driven economy. And so I created a new framework that would help people to prepare. And basically, my framework consisted of four different phases where people have to compete. The first level is knowledge, the second level is intelligence. This is when you are a professional and you deploy your knowledge. The third level is expert systems, and the last level is intelligence augmentation.
That sounds like a forward-thinking framework. It seems to cover a comprehensive progression from acquiring knowledge to enhancing human capabilities with AI. How do you see these levels playing out in today's AI-driven world?
Well, it's four levels, and I created a pyramid, which is a hierarchy. And I was trying to tell people that you have to start at the first level, which is knowledge. And unfortunately, today on the internet, on YouTube, Facebook, even LinkedIn, we have a lot of information, and most of it is junk. And even when it's good information, it's not relevant to a person's goals. So you have to focus on acquiring the knowledge that is relevant to your profession, your goals, your business. So that's the first level, knowledge acquisition. The second level is when you have to apply that knowledge in a real world setting, in the real business world. And that's the intelligence phase, or that's where you put your knowledge into action.
That's a solid foundation for navigating the complexities of today's information-rich environment. Starting with relevant knowledge acquisition ensures that you're not just consuming
Well, you
information,
you
but are
mentioned information-rich environment, and that's true. There's a lot of information, but what I really want to stress here is that we're talking about knowledge. So let's define knowledge. Knowledge is the capacity for effective action. So, for example, if you're a chef, you have cooking knowledge. You know how to create dishes that people will enjoy. So that's what I mean by knowledge. A lot of what I've learned at McGill University during my 3 years there, 1996 to 1999, was really just information. When I graduated in 1999 October, I didn't really have business knowledge. I was not able to actually do something to produce business results. So we have to clearly distinguish between information and knowledge.
absolutely. That's a crucial distinction. Knowledge, as the capacity for effective action, implies a deeper understanding and the ability to apply information in practical, real world
We're
scenarios.
gonna get
It's
back
not just
to
about
we're
having
gonna get back to knowledge versus information versus data later on, but I just want to talk to you about the third phase, which unfortunately is not very well. It's not known at all by people. You know, people have heard about expert systems, which are computer programs that emerged in the 1970s and 1980s, but they don't really understand what expert systems really are. And I think as a result, most people are stuck at the second level of professionalism. And unfortunately, when you stay at that level fairly, in the next 2 to 3 years, ChatGPT and other generative AI systems will eliminate your job, whether it's accounting, management, etc. So this is the right time to learn about the third level expert systems.
expert systems are indeed an intriguing area of AI. They're designed to mimic the decision making ability of a human expert, using a knowledge base of facts and rules to solve complex problems in specific domains. Transitioning from professionalism to leveraging expert systems could empower individuals to enhance their decision making and problem solving capabilities, potentially securing their roles in an AI driven world. How do you envision people integrating expert systems into their careers?
Well, to give you a real life example and to highlight the difference between second level and the third level, between professionalism and expert systems, imagine that I'm teaching a course on email marketing, right? So instead of me teaching that email marketing course, I could create an expert system. That's level three, where my students would just enter the information from the client, what products or services they're selling, what is their target market, etc. And then this expert system would generate a perfect email marketing plan. So you can see quite clearly that such an expert system is far superior to my being a professional, being an email marketing teacher. And that's why I really recommend to people to get busy creating their own expert system. And the best way is to collaborate with other people whose skill set is complementary to yours. And together you can create an expert system, which, like you said, it mimics the decision making of a human being. A very good analogy or very good example is a Stockfish. Stockfish is an expert system, a chess engine that would do the decisions that normally would be made by a human chess player. And Stockfish is so good that it can beat all the time. It can beat the world's number one chess player, Magnus Carlsen. So that gives you an idea of how much more superior expert systems like Stockfish are with respect to human decision makers.
That's a great example. Using an expert system for email marketing can transform the learning process by automating the application of complex strategies. It not only saves time, but also ensures best practices are followed, providing a more efficient and effective approach to achieving marketing goals. It's a prime example of how expert systems can augment human expertise.
Now, when we talk about expert systems and we compare them to today's machine learning, deep learning AIs, the first or one of the first objections that people have is that they will say that expert systems take a long time to program and they're very brittle and they don't cover edge cases, etc. And those objections are valid. But I would say that it's time to revisit the idea of an expert system and expand its definition. So, for example, I created the idea of an organic expert system. And basically, this is an expert system in the cloud that people can contribute to, very much like Wikipedia. So this expert system, whether it's an expert in email marketing or search engine optimization or copywriting or business planning, this expert system in the cloud would be growing all the time because it is receiving contributions from people. And of course, there would be a curator who would ensure that the submissions are of high quality, very much like Wikipedia. But Wikipedia is just information. This expert system, this collective expert system, is more an artificial decision maker. So it would be useful to all the people who participated in creating it. So that's level 3. Now let's talk about level 4, which is the last level. It's what I called intelligence augmentation.
Your concept of an organic expert system addresses some of the traditional limitations of expert systems by leveraging collective intelligence and continuous updates. It turns the static nature of traditional expert systems into a dynamic, evolving resource. Now, how would you describe intelligence augmentation in the context of your framework?
Well, intelligence augmentation is really the last phase. And this is where you're using all kinds of software programs, expert systems, and AI systems like ChatGPT to augment, to multiply the cognitive powers of your own brain. And in fact, in a future video, I'm going to explain further what I mean by intelligence augmentation. But broadly speaking, it's about doing what you have to do as a professional, as a business owner, etc., even as an investor. But you've got to create artificial intelligences around you that will support your decision making, your creativity, your innovation. And a very good example is Jarvis, the AI assistant to Tony Stark. And Tony is just talking to Jarvis, and it is doing a lot of the work. It is even suggesting improvements or modifications. So it's really like an executive assistant that is super smart. So that's my vision of what intelligence augmentation is all about. And I guess people can jump from level 2, professionalism, to level 4, intelligence augmentation, by skipping expert systems. But I recommend that people go through expert systems first, because that's where they will really appreciate the idea of having a knowledge database that they can query, not just a knowledge database, but a decision maker, an artificial decision maker that will support them. But intelligence augmentation is above expert system. It's not just a system that you can query, it's really an organic intelligence system.
Intelligence augmentation is a powerful concept, envisioning a future where individuals are supported by a network of AI systems that enhance their capabilities. By integrating AI into daily workflows, we can elevate our problem solving, creativity, and productivity to new heights. Your analogy with Jarvis is spot on. Having an AI assistant that can understand context, provide insights, and execute tasks could redefine efficiency and innovation in various fields. Starting with expert systems provides a strong foundation to appreciate and build upon the seamless integration of intelligence augmentation.
It's important to remember that these four levels, knowledge, intelligence, expert systems, and intelligence augmentation, when you move from one level to the next level includes but transcends the previous level. So, for example, level two, intelligence or professionalism, includes but it transcends the first level, which is knowledge. In the same manner, expert systems includes professionalism, but it transcends the level of professionals, right? Because now we have, almost like what I could call scale the professionalism. You have an expert decision maker that can, help support, thousands of people, whereas the professional can only work for one client at a time. And then finally, you have intelligence augmentation, which includes but transcends expert systems. So it's very much like the idea of a hierarchy in the sense that each level is a whole in itself, but it is also a part of a bigger system. And you can read more about the idea of a hierarchy in Ken Wilber's little book, A Brief History of Everything.
That's an insightful way to view the progression through these levels. Each stage builds upon the last, integrating previous knowledge and skills while expanding into broader capabilities. This holarchial structure, where each level is a complete entity on its own, but also part of a larger system, offers a nuanced perspective on personal and professional development in the context of an AI driven world. Ken Wilber's work indeed provides a fascinating exploration of such concepts.
Now, let's take the case where someone is a successful professional. He could be a manager, or she could be a project manager, or an accountant, or a consultant. And so, all these people, they're generally on LinkedIn and they're working as professionals and managers and even entrepreneurs, but they are stuck at level two where they are deploying their knowledge. And that's what we call intelligence. They're deploying their knowledge, they're applying their knowledge to produce business results. And that's what they're paid to do. But they do not suspect that there is a level three or expert systems, and they definitely do not suspect that there is a level four intelligence augmentation. Although, everyone knows about Jarvis in the movie Iron Man, but they don't see that as part of their personal or professional development path. It's just way up there. But what I was saying in my AI keynote in 2018 is that it is possible for you to reach that last level intelligence augmentation where you are so powerful, you're so productive, you can multiply your sources of income, but you've got to do it step by step, which is why I created this pyramid where people make, they advance from the knowledge level to the intelligence level to the expert systems level, and finally they reach the intelligence augmentation level.
You're right. Many professionals may not yet see the potential for integrating expert systems and intelligence
Now,
augmentation
the
into
good
their
news
career
or
paths.
the good
Your
news
pyramid
the good
framework
news or
offers a clear
sorry
roadmap
the
for
good the good news or the bad news, depending on how people look at it, is that ChatGPT and generative AIs will soon eliminate a lot of professional jobs. So people will have no choice but to move to expert system, the expert system level, that's level three, if they want to remain economically relevant. So what's happening at the expert system level is that they can collaborate with other people, especially on LinkedIn and Facebook, in order to co-create expert systems and artificial decision makers that they can then sell. So the idea is not to offer your professional service in an office or even by remote, but the idea is to move from offering services to creating products and distributing these products, these smart products, to clients all over the world. And that's the only way that I see where people can remain economically relevant. Because if you hang on to your job, your professional job, it's like a ticking time bomb. Eventually, some AI is going to eliminate your job. So even if you work hard at becoming better at your job, it's a lost cause because all the professional jobs, or 99.9% of professional jobs, will be eliminated by AI. So I think that it's very important for people to explore the idea of an expert system so that they can prepare and survive economically and financially in the new economy.
That's a very realistic perspective. As AI continues to advance, the nature of work is shifting towards automation and the creation of intelligent systems. By collaborating to develop expert systems, professionals can transition from providing individual services to creating scalable, intelligent products. This shift not only helps maintain economic relevance, but also opens up new opportunities for innovation and income generation. It's a proactive approach to navigating the evolving landscape of work.
Yeah, exactly. So to make it a really to use an analogy, instead of teaching email marketing to 30 or 40 students per year, I can create an email marketing expert system that can have thousands or tens of thousands of users, and I can charge these people maybe $10, $20 per month or per year, and I can make money that way. In other words, instead of offering my teaching services, I create an expert system in the cloud that would teach people about email marketing. So that's where the economy is heading. You've got to think about how to create products and not just how to deliver services. Now, you can still deliver services. It's still a viable way to make money. But in the long term, AI is going to eliminate your professional service. So it's time right now to start transitioning to level three, where you're creating an expert system with collaborators, so that you can sell that expert system, or access to that expert system. You can sell to customers all over the world.
That's a smart strategy. By shifting from teaching to creating an expert system, you can scale your impact and reach a much larger audience. This model allows for continuous improvement and updates, providing users with up-to-date knowledge and strategies. Plus, it's a more sustainable business model in an economy that's rapidly automating services. It's about being proactive and adapting to the changing landscape by creating products that meet the evolving needs of the market. Have you thought about what kind of expert system you'd like to develop first?
Well, it makes sense for me to develop an expert system based on the courses that I've created so far: project management, marketing research, sales, entrepreneurship, how to start a business, and marketing and email marketing. So that's what I recommend to people. In fact, I will share videos of how I'm doing this, how I'm turning my brain into various expert systems so that people can benefit from my expertise even while I'm sleeping.
That's a fantastic idea. Not only will this showcase your expertise, but it will also provide a valuable resource for others to learn from your experiences and insights. It's like you're turning your brain into a 24/7 mentor. Sharing the process through videos will make it more accessible and engaging for people to understand how they can apply these expert systems in their own work.